guys know it is Drunken Chat, son.
As man says, welcome to the Drunken Chat, son. I am your host, Shut Greens and Cornbread, with the main man on plan, Sir Christopher, the motherfucking greatest. How's it going, brother?
Pretty good, bro. It's a great time to be alive for comic fans, man. Great weekend, bro.
Absolutely, freaking look, freaking Comic Crusaders, which is the network that we're on right now, is representing there at San Diego Comic Con right now. So if you see Almega, a little crazy ass Puerto Rican dude, freaking with number white hair, freaking ponytail and a fucking what you go out of that joint party in the back, freaking fresh on the fucking rear, yeah, fucking hunt him down and say that hey, thanks for drunken chat, man, freaking. But he's there. McClay is there. Aaron Yee there. Um, a lot of our great friends are freaking there. They were there last year too. I couldn't freaking make it this year because I got other plans to do this year. So this is going to be, hopefully they come back with some great freaking news. And I've already heard of some of the stuff that's coming out, but we're not going to talk about necessarily any of that on this show. I think we're going to do another show where we just focus on that because look, it's fucking late. Been tying too much on there. Um, but man, yeah, freaking great freaking week, right? It's crazy when to think about it because we had fantastic. We had Superman, right, which was about last week. Then we had uh, San Diego Comic Con that's happening at the same time that Fantastic Four is out right now. So I mean, does it get any better than a greater month than that, man? And then I think probably right around next month we also got Disney 23 freaking happening. So that's another thing that's about to freaking pop off. Even though not as many people go to that, that's going to definitely be interesting. What do you think about that?
D23. It's usually a great time of year. I feel like the last one I should say was kind of like mid. I'm pretty sure they may pick it up this year. Hopefully, that's when we get to see a lot of previews to the upcoming shows and everything like that. So hopefully they give us some bangers, bro, because it's a lot going on, especially after Fantastic Four.
Yeah, I think what they so I mean we're in between a interesting transition as well, right? Um, Marvel has said that you know what they are going to defocus away from going to all the Comic Cons because they want to focus on putting some of their stuff out at D23. Um, the now, so I haven't necessarily honed in on what news has been released yet because there's just too much going on. But the big news from last year, which was the last one that Marvel was at, they dropped the big news about Doomsday Avengers, um, Robert Downey Jr. being Doom, everything. So that was freaking crazy. Um, so I'm wondering if they're going to hold back some stuff at San Diego Comic Con in order to be able to release some stuff at the 23. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think they're probably gonna hold back on most things going forward, just because we have already a lot ahead of us, and it's really a short period of time until we get there. Secret Wars all the way out in 2027, and then after that, we're hitting a big reset over everything. So not every actor and actress are going to get recasted, but they're going to do a lot of recasting. They're going to take out, not even take out, just move past all these characters that we saw through phase 4 and 5 that won't be necessarily going with us into the next 7 years, because we're going to solely focus on the whole X-Men and mutant demonstration. So
Right. And trust me, them recasting it's not because they necessarily wanted to, it's because they had to. Because a lot of the actors they just lost their mother picking minds, right? They saw the money, they saw all the fame, and then they wanted more money. Um, and then after that, freaking between the Shuri freaking doing her crazy stuff, between Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow, her wanting freaking more money. She really hasn't done anything after that. She's trying to recoup her whole freaking her agency and freaking all that other stuff. And then it was just a weird time where all the fame went to these actors' head, where they were built up by Marvel, Disney, and then they asked for more. They were asking for a crazy amount of freaking money and freaking rights, and now they're shit out of fucking luck. So yeah, Disney has to rebuild. They have to and hopefully grab some characters and cast that are not as freaking crazy, right? Um,
And
even so,
then speaking of characters like that, the older OG characters, he did comment and say that they're going to be, some of them will be recasted going forward, but they're not going to play a pivotal role going forward, and they'll be more or less like background characters to a degree. So he did give two nods to that, which was Captain America and Iron Man. So it's very possible that they recast those characters, and we may see them pop up, but not necessarily be a focal point. We won't get a Captain America movie or Iron Man movie, but they will show up.
yeah. Well, I mean, we were supposed to get video games for some of these folks, and it's just too weird all the stuff that's going on. But um, yeah, so let's get back to focus on what we wanted to we can talk about. In fact, um, yeah, so let's get focus back. But before we do all that, I want to do two things. I do want to freaking give a quick talk about the main man, the dude that freaking for a lot of us growing up that didn't have fathers. This was that, freaking Hulk Hogan, man, All American, the dude that told you to fucking say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and exercise and all that other good stuff, man. Before going rogue and going villain. Hulk Hogan passed away this freaking weekend. It was from a heart attack. People are fucking weird. I didn't want to cuss, but people are fucking weird because they're like, oh, it's kind of weird how he died. Ladies and gents, this man was 71 years old. 71 years old. He had a great freaking run after all the drugs and the steroids and everything. But I hope he rests in peace, and I hope his family finds some closure and hopefulness in the fact that he really did a good thing for the souls of all of us little boys that as we grew up. Um,
Yeah, it definitely sucked. I mean, I was watching this guy since I was two, and I couldn't even pronunciate his whole name. And my father, took me to my first wrestling show to actually see Hulk Hogan. And the entire time we were there, we had these 70-year-old, 80-year-old women sitting in front of us, screaming, "Kick his ass" through the entire show. So, Hulk Hogan definitely built memories for a lot of us. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. So before we keep going on, just do want to give a shout out to all those folks in the chat. GT Geek Comics always first one on the spot. Brad Saldern says 11:15 EST. Yep, sorry about that. Sorry about the late start. Um, went to the Mexican restaurant. Todd one. They gave me not a double. They gave me a freaking triple on that freaking margarita. Darren Baptiste, long time no see. Hey, what's going on? Raspor Games Kindness also a month away. This was going to be a little interesting because I feel like there was just somebody had some type of gamer con type deal either a month or 2 months ago. So that's gonna be weird. I need to check that out. Mojo Quid says, I cannot wait until they recast the X-Men. I'm not sure because right now I think it's perfect. Right, we don't have an X-Men movie, right? But we're getting splatterings of X-Men. They're dripping them in between freaking movies right now. Um, and then they allow us if we can like the characters in other instances, and then eventually maybe they'll bring them together one movie. In the meantime, I've been loving that the X-Men '97. It was season 1 and season 2 we've had so far. I've been loving that. That was really good. Mojo Quiz says, and this is talking about Hulk Hogan says, I said my goodbyes and condolences 10 years ago. Never meet your heroes. Um, Normally, I would say that's not necessarily true. Sometimes I've met some of my greatest freaking heroes, but but other times it's been sad. Like I actually met um two of the ones that blew my mind. Right, was Smoking George Frazier. Man, freaking met him when he was freaking old, and he was it, wa- it was like the beginnings of like the end of like the mental capacity from him. from him. He wasn't trembling or anything, but it wasn't there. It was like obvious it wasn't there. He was there with the son, um, and it was crazy. So that kind of freaking blew my mind, like how much boxing can do to the freaking mind. And the second one was Doogie Howser, right? Met freaking Doogie Howser one time. In fact, actually hung out with him at the. Didn't know it was him because we were hanging out at the Palace in L.A. It was a group of us. We were just freaking hanging out, having a good time. Lights went up. And we all had to freaking leave, and I was like, "Oh shit, we had to fucking leave." It was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and then it was like, "Yeah, we're having a good time." Blah blah. Hey, are we going to? It wasn't IHOP. It was something like that. And then, as we're coming out, we just see like rainbows everywhere, fucking rainbows everywhere. And then turn around, there's a whole bunch of the LGBT community. And it was like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?" And this once again, this is before all this was you know GTG like it is now, and and the dude next to me goes, "Oh shit, is this all for me?" And I turned to my right. I'm like, "What the fuck did you say, dude?" And I was like, and my friend who was with me that we went there says, "Oh shit, you're Doogie Howser." I was like, "That's not." Oh shit, that is fucking Doogie Howser, right? Didn't think nothing of it until maybe like a few years later, and then they broke it that he was part of the LGBTQ community, man. So it was kind of weird days back in California. Um, Mojo Quid says, as far as X Men, he doesn't want those little drips if it's going to be people from the Fox universe, though. Okay, I got that. Pred Sullivan, yes, yeah. Doogie Howser, his name is Neil Patrick Harris, man. He's had a lot of freaking great roles since then. Um, he even was just in even in Doctor Who, right? That's a few actually just last year, right? But he will always be motherfucking Doogie Howser MD to me, man. um, all right, so that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get into one of the big reasons we're here. I kind of wanted to do just a Fantastic Four thing this freaking week, but once again, freaking life, man. Um, yeah, man, freaking produced by Kevin Feige with Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, um, Joseph Quinn as Human Torch, Salabal, who was the Silver Surfer gal. Oh, excuse me, Julia Garner, who was the Silver Surfer gal. Ralph Ineson as Galactus, and John Malkovich, and then I forget the name of the character or the actor that plays Mole Man. So it was some. Hey, I know that guy, and then some those. But let's not who the biggest star here is. There's Pedro Pascal. Um, Great freaking stuff from the whole freaking cast. What was on your mind? How did you feel coming out of this freaking movie? Let's start there.
Dude, I was over excited. All right. Once we got to that mid credit scene, when I left that theater, man, I was extremely excited. I think that this movie in its entirety is probably the best movie that we've had since Endgame. And the fact that they were able to self-contain this film, and I didn't really need to know about a whole bunch, before going to see it. I think that gave this another jump start. You know what I mean? Because I feel like prior to this movie, you would have a lot of complaining about the shows and the films and all that, right? And I think that the fact with what they did with this, they stayed just in the comic world where you didn't have to know everything. You didn't have to know what happened before this. You didn't have to watch anything before this. And you can just actually enjoy it as it is. So I think that was a big deal for people.
I agree, man. Well, you said that you feel like this was one of the best movies. Are you talking about best Marvel movies or best movie? Do you think?
Best Marvel movie since we've
Okay,
gotten since Endgame,
okay. So let's
because
throw some controversy. What was better, Superman, what just came out a couple weeks ago, or this movie?
um, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm automatically biased because I'm a Marvel fan over a DC fan. To be honest with you, I like both, but at the same time, I enjoyed both of them, but I still have to give it to Marvel, and that's just because um, I enjoyed it a lot more. It kind of kept me glued a lot more. I felt like I was just going through one day with Superman, which is cool. Don't get me wrong. I like what they did with it. I just didn't feel it over Fantastic Four. You know what I mean? And that's not because, like I said, it was a bad movie or anything. It's just I'm more of a Marvel fan. Those characters, um, I gravitate towards them more because they are one of my favorite groups.
Mhm.
So I just enjoyed it a lot more than I did Superman. Not saying, like I said, that I didn't, enjoy Superman, but Fantastic Four was just elite.
Yeah. Um, I've heard this complaint a lot. Cosmic One is saying that hopefully the Blu-ray is going to have the red ghost to lead its scenes. Um,
I have a
sure.
theory about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
My theory about that is that I honestly think that possibly they took him out to use his scenes possibly later on, because I think that in the film, um, like, you still see a couple of things that would point you to his character, right? So I felt like he was still there. They just didn't show him. You know what I mean? They even talked about him in the very last post credit scene. So I feel like it's a big possibility that they didn't want to take away from the team, Silver Surfer or Galactus, right? Where they have this character over lingering in the movie and he doesn't end up having a major part, right? Maybe his parts were just like little dialogue kind of pointing you towards Doom, right? And they felt like that was too much, so possibly took it out, right? So overall, I just got a feeling that we'll see him later. Now, that's all depending. I don't think that he fell out with Marvel in any form or fashion, because that's not what I seen. I didn't see anything like it. I just saw them take the scenes out of the movie. So
Yeah. I think you're absolutely freaking right. Um, but here's what I will say. I saw a lot of the complaints about Superman, right? And that it was too much happening all at the same time. Um, and then so maybe they had took some cues from earlier reviews or earlier lookouts at for the Superman movie and says, you know what, let's kind of slim it down, right, and just make the Fantastic Four a Fantastic Four movie and just keep it at that. Because look, it's a lot into itself, right? Because you're talking about um, the inner relationship about the Fantastic Four and kind of developing how they work together. Then you got the storyline about the baby and the pregnancy. Then you've also got the thing about the freaking Silver Surfer. Then you've also got the whole thing about Galactus. So there's literally like a whole bunch of freaking stories and they got all that stuff with telling the origin story without going too far back into the origin story, uh, which is um, which is a mistake that a lot of the older movies. Because look, I actually when after I got done, in fact, this morning when I woke up, one of the things I did was I went back and I watched some of the old other Fantastic Four movies from like 2005, 2017, and the 2015 joints. And the thing that kind of got redundant um, was that they kept trying to tell the origin story, but instead of just telling like, hey, just showing like, hey, this is how they got this, they went further back into the story as they freaking meet, and it absolutely added nothing. Especially when it came to like I forget what was it. Was it the 2017 one, maybe, where we had Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm,
yeah,
right?
2015.
Yeah, and then it was absolutely ridiculous when you had him pulled up and say, "Hey, what's up, bitch?" And he's trying to act black. He's trying to act black, and he's absolutely He could not pull it off, right? So after that, it was like I don't know. And this is before Fruitvale Station, right? So, um, and then them having him trying to act like that and add absolutely nothing to the freaking story because past that point, none of that ever stuff ever comes up where he was just a dumbass punk kid, freaking just doing whatever. It never came up again. It just wasn't a focus. So it was really weird, man. Um,
They also had that blink if you miss it. Fantastic Four from the unreleased movie um, in the scene. So when they were doing the whole "Thank you, Fantastic Four," they were in one of the scenes. All four actors from that original movie. So I was just thinking, with all of what's going on, and recently he just Robert Downey Jr. That is, shared a picture of about 2 or 3 comics, right? And one was West Coast Avengers 35. Another was Secret Wars #1, and then it was an Iron Man cover with Iron Man versus Doom. I forgot what number that is, but mentioning those 3 books, it kind of makes you think, right? It makes me first off think that possibly there's a little bit more to why they have Robert Downey Jr. playing him. And I'm starting to think that the reason why they didn't show Doom is because, of course, it's going to look like Robert Downey Jr., but I've been hearing a little bit of theorizing, especially based on that West Coast Avengers 35, that his spirit basically takes over the real Tony Stark in this universe, right? That's like one of the ongoing theories right now. So I'm just hoping that whatever they do, they don't make this story in its entirety confusing to the general audience to the point where they reject it.
yeah. Um, good shout out, man. So let's go down the line. What did you think of the feel and the look of the movie? Because they went back to it was like the kind of like 50s and 60s, but so there was a time during the 60s when they were always looking to the future and how things were going to look. They didn't. So it was a weird time, right? Because there's the way that the 60s actually looked, right? And then there was the stuff of in the 60s where they showed what they think that the future will look. What did you think about that whole deal?
I thought it all looked great. I think that if you had Fantastic Four back in the 50s and 60s, I honestly think that's what it would look like, because I feel like Reed Richards is always inventing things to make the world better, right? He's the smartest man in the world pretty much, right? So I feel like it kind of looked like as if they had been there for a little time, or not even a little time. Like, this is supposed to be their home world. This is where they were all born, raised, and all that, right? At least that's what they have us thinking so far. So I felt like the way they did it was kind of like great, because that's how, me not being from the 50s or 60s, that's kind of how I imagine it with characters like this in their world, right? So it was pretty spot on to me. I really liked it. I thought it looked great. I actually hope they put out more um, accessories or electronics or shit with this type of vibe, that futuristic retro vibe. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Mojo Quid says it feels lazy and is ready to get the real Doom already. Um, I like I don't know. I kind of like the way it's going right now, where they kind of trying to splatter him in. Right, he's not full force. Right, he was in the movie without really being in the movie. At some of the United Nations Council joints. Right, they kind of had the whole Latveria thing going. I like that type of freaking deal. Um, so I think that's where I want to see. In fact, I actually kind of wish they had done some of that in the Riri Ironheart joint. Maybe they did. Maybe I just missed it and have to pay attention more. But that's kind of what I want to see. I want Doom, but I want him to be like a thing in the background that's kind of moving stuff around and messing people's day up before we actually get to freaking see like how bad he can really freaking be. Um, Joe 4771 is asking, was it Robert Downey Jr.? That's a good question. I didn't, even though I sat through the freaking credit scenes, I didn't freaking actually read the freaking credits and see if they credited Robert Downey Jr. as Doom on that day. Um, Cosmic One saying is that this movie is timeless, definitely going in the right freaking direction. Yep, it's got a classic freaking timeless type of freaking feel, man. Um, but okay, so how do we think? How do we feel about these actors right now? Pedro Pascal, he's hot right now. He's got all types of projects going on. He's got this is I think the second movie that came out this week for Pedro Pascal.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean,
and plus he's got
I
I
think they
forget the
got
name.
the casting right, bro. They were
Yeah,
everybody was great in this movie, dude. But I feel like Vanessa Kirby is the one that kind of stood out to me. Out of all honesty, I felt like she led the team. I kind of felt like she was the focus on the movie. Between I'd say her and Franklin, I felt like those were the two focuses, and then it kind of shifted and was shared with Galactus in a way, right? So I just think she's awesome, and I just saw earlier today where in her interview she was talking about the her playing a version of Malice. So I'm extremely geek to see like if they do that. If they do that, that's going to be pretty dope to me. I would like to see that. I would actually love to see that just because of her as an actress, and I think she would do well at it.
yeah. Raspor is saying he saw someone saying that they now wanted a live action Jetsons after seeing the Fantastic Four. That's kind of interesting, man. I would like to see it too, because I remember when they had a whole bunch of Flintstone movies live action with John Goodman. Those are fucking awesome, man. So
Yeah, they are.
I wouldn't mind seeing a freaking Jetsons movie, Marvel style. I don't know who. No, it's DC, Hanna Barbera. Yeah, that's a Hanna Barbera DC thing. So DC needs to freaking get on top of that. But I think DC would, or they're more concentrated on doing Scooby movies than they are doing Jetson movies right now. But
And then
we'll
also,
see.
bro, Pedro Pascal as well. He was fucking phenomenal as Reed because that iteration that he gave us of the character versus what we've seen in the past, he really stood apart from those other Reeds. You know what I mean? It made it great to me. I'm not gonna lie, dude. He didn't have to go all off into all of his formulas and basically talk so he sounds like the world's smartest man, right? It's more or less his actions showed that he was the smartest person around. All right. That's what it made me feel like. So when he came up with a solution for Galactus, I was like, oh yeah, this is Reed right here. Because this is what he does in the comics. He in the comics, he's been portrayed in many different ways, right? On the films, he's only been portrayed in a couple of ways so far. And this one by far made me feel like, man, dude, I honestly feel like he would also make a good maker. All right. And that's just
Yeah,
me, dude. I think that he would because it's almost like he let his actions speak more or less versus the other reads that were doing a whole shitload of talking every time they're figuring something out, right?
yeah,
Oh, we got to fill out the parameters of this and this, that, and the third, and this, and they would just keep going and going and going with it, right? He kind of said a couple of things short and sweet and then got to it.
yeah. He he was more Pedro Pascal in this movie. They did an excellent job because they would do. There's a show me, don't tell me, right? Where he would freaking draw it out on the board for you, right? And if you miss it, catch it, if you miss it, there's a lot of stuff that was from the Ant-Man movie on the board, right? From I forget the name of the character, Andreas Sevalesk or whatever the doctor's name was, that he was pointing out
Goliath.
stuff. Yeah, yeah, it was the doctor that was in the Thor movie as well as no, well, there was
Oh,
Goliath, right?
yeah,
I
I
think it
know.
was Savaleski. Yeah, it was Savaleski. Well, they both were up on the board drawing stuff, right? And then there was also the black hole um
Dr.
thing.
Eric Selving.
Yeah, and then there was a parabola that Tony figured out, right? The portions of the parabola that Tony had figured out right before he figured out time travel. He was drawing up there as well. Uh, so yeah, there's a lot of freaking goodies if you're really freaking geeked out on fucking quantum physics and all that other crazy quantum engineering freaking stuff. Um, but good stuff, man. I can't freaking wait with Galactus. Freaking the face of Galactus was absolutely freaking crazy. Forget like how tall and how big he was and all that stuff. Just the face when he freaking leans in and he tried to communicate to the best of his ability, man. That was great.
And
Um,
I also liked it how they made his voice. His voice felt like he meant what he was talking about. You know what I mean? Like he
mhm.
meant everything he was saying. Because even when he told him, like, yeah, I'm gonna eat that baby. Okay, he was going after that baby, like himself personally. Okay, when they first came to talk to him, and they were gonna go basically try to strike a deal with him, and he was just like, you know what, I got a deal for you, run that baby and I will let your world live, right? And then he didn't just take no for an answer right there and then say, oh, well, I'll see you later. No, he want that baby right fucking now. Like, not only did he go for Franklin, but then he sent Silver Surfer on this crazy ass chase through space trying to get this baby, which was spectacular, by the way, and fucking beautiful. Pardon my French,
Yeah,
but it was amazing.
yeah. Well, so the controversy when this first came out, talk about the Fantastic Four and the cast. People held had qualms about the Silver Surfer being female. What do we think now? Even though there have been heralds that have been silver and all, that have been surfers that have been female in the comics. What do we think of Julia Garner as Shalabal?
She was also amazing. I enjoyed her quite a bit because, like with Norman Rad, he kind of spent more time in the movie, um, kind of like in a mysterious aspect, trying to figure out these people. And, he actually connected with Sue Storm, So I felt like the approach that they did this time with Silver Surfer, I was feeling this. Silver Surfer was just on 10 and wasn't for none. So when she came and told everybody like, hey, my boss, he's getting ready to come eat your world, all right? That was it. It wasn't nothing to talk about. She was
Yep.
gone, even like when she got to the point where she was chasing them all the way up until the point where Galactus actually was arriving at Earth, and she showed up destroying all those machines, you know and then Torch of all people came through with the save on that, right? So I loved it. I loved how they portrayed her, and I felt like with her whole background story, with how we didn't have a Norrin Rad at all, we didn't even have a mention of Norrin Rad when we know in the comics that's her love interest, right? So I feel like they're saving him because I don't think we've seen the last of her, and I think that we will see Norrin Rad in the future because they've told us this so far. So, um, it's going to be really interesting, especially how they bring Silver Surfer in now. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Because it threw everybody off as well. Everybody else thought that this universe was going to get destroyed, right? And then they were going to somehow get to 616. And none of that played out how anybody initially thought, with the amount of time that they have before Secret Wars, that we would leave the movie and they would still be in Universe 828.
Yeah.
So,
Well, what was crazy? It was the runtime, man. Well, the I'm not necessarily the runtime, but how the pace of the movie, right? Because sitting there freaking enjoying the movie, and then all of a sudden the waitress brings me my freaking bill and everything, and I'm like, hold up, we're not even through the first act, or we're not even through the second act of the movie. Why are you bringing me my shit and everything? But apparently, it was just a weird pacing, weird way of how it ended because it just went from 0 to 90 like real freaking quick. Um, and it feels like the natural thing is there's got to be a part two, but there's not going to be a part two because it said at the end we're going straight from Doomsday into Doomsday Avengers, or it's Avengers Doomsday or some shit like that. Uh, so man, that's going to be weird, man. Freaking had me. If it almost felt like this probably should have been a TV series, not just a movie to me. Let's
Yeah,
see.
and I was gonna ask you, how did you feel about all the villain presentation in the movie? Because we didn't just see one villain. We saw a multitude of villains, and we were also like there's little Easter eggs here and there for villains in the background and villains that they have already fought. And one thing that they didn't show us or mention at all is Victor Von Doom. And the only time we saw a reference to him in the movie was when Sue Storm was giving her, well, no. They were giving a presentation in I guess Congress or whatever. And you see the chairs for Latveria empty. So is it like, okay, is Doctor Doom dead in this world? Do they think he's dead in this world? Because we didn't hear one mention of him. And you would think with the entire world coming together to try to formulate some type of plan to defeat Galactus as one whole world, as in Russia working together, China's working together, US is working together. And where was Doom? Where was the mention of Doom? Where was the mention of Latveria? He is the second smartest man in the world, okay? But they did not like mention him as if he's a factor yet. Like, did he do something so bad that they don't want to talk about it? Like,
Well, yeah. So, at one of the at the when Fantastic Four were announcing the plan, the first plan, um, there was a seat for Laveria, and he was like gone. Like he was like, yeah, fuck this shit, I'm out. Right. So they were trying to show that while all the rest of the world is trying to come together, he was not going to be. He was going to be like Russia, Belarus. He was going to be that third world country type deal. So that's the type of thing they're freaking trying to push. He's not freaking going to play along with everybody. When it comes to the freaking villains, I think what they were trying to show is that hey, we all say from your mouth, "Kumbaya," hey, let's freaking get along. But when the freaking chips were freaking down, right? When it was like, hey, when Fantastic Four came back and said, hey, we are really in a big freaking threat. There's nothing we can really freaking do right now except for give up the baby. They said, yeah, fuck it, give up the baby. The whole world was like, yeah, what the fuck you doing? Give up the fucking baby. Right? That shows that sometimes just normal everyday freaking people are the freaking villains, right?
yeah.
And that's why it was so crazy about the time frame, because if the time frame was like the 60s, we know how crazy the 60s was for a certain type of people, and they're out there freaking marching and fucking with the crazy signs. Yeah, fuck the baby. Like yo, like yo, like yo, what the fuck was going on? And then but the problem is that you had little blonde haired freaking Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm going out there like, hey, look at the baby, freaking this is my baby, we'll do it all together and everything, which is kind of counter to what you were kind of leaning up to with that freaking great freaking point. But let's get it straight. Even though Galactus was the big bad, the other internal real bad was the freaking people and how scared and what they were capable of when they got freaking scared. That was a great freaking side to it.
And then actually, if remember that book that we mentioned last week about Fantastic Four First Steps, that one shot, if you read that book, then it gave you a lot of Easter eggs in that, but it actually gave you the behind the scenes with the relationship between Mole Man and the Fantastic Four. So the things that we didn't see play out in the actual film, it's like they gave us a whole little prequel to the movie in there where originally, Subterranea came up to basically declare war on the surface dwellers. Fantastic Four fought them, and that was what that whole commemoration thing was, which is why they were even celebrating the Fantastic Four. But I also liked it how that comic ended was where Susan Storm came to an agreement with Mole Man, and then later on in the actual movie, she was actually able to go to him for help to get basically the majority of New York underground before Galactus got there. So I loved how they did that. They didn't make it so you had to know it, but they made it so if you read it, you just got more information before you saw it. I like that setup.
Right. Yeah. So I think there was a lot of good stuff for comic book lovers. If you're a comic book fan, you got it. We enjoyed the twist and everything. Like my sons, they enjoyed it and everything. My wife, however, surprisingly did not enjoy it. She said it was a little too simplistic for her, which was really fascinating to me because in between the pregnancy and the baby being the most important part, she was looking for more, which is kind of crazy because what was it, House of Thrones, Game of Thrones, House of Dragons, excuse me.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones. So she's not yet watched House of Thrones and everything, but she did watch a House of Dragons, right? And the thing that tied her into the House of Dragons was the pregnancy scene. That got her freaking hooked, and she had to freaking watch the whole thing. So for her to watch that scene and not be hooked into like, okay, hey, what's going on with the mom? What's going on with the freaking baby? That was kind of interesting, and she was just looking for just a little bit more. And I'm gonna have to think about that and mull over that before I start asking for a divorce because this movie was actually quite good. Joe 47 is asking, hey, what did I get to eat? I got to eat. My order was a hot chicken crispy wrap, which is like a freaking chicken salad, a hot chicken, hot chicken salad, but they just fucking put it in a wrap. It's actually quite good. The kids had chips and queso, and just had the ultimate popcorn to freaking go. And then it was it had the red cape because they got this one drink dedicated to the Superman movie. That's also pretty good, and it might knock you off your ass if you have too many. They boycotted. Doom is a socialist. It's kind of crazy what's happening in the freaking comic books right now. I read the first 2 issues about a month ago, and I was quite impressed. The writing was actually pretty good. I have not read any of the extensions, but it's something that I'm definitely going to have to come back to. Director confirms RDJ was in the mid-credits cameo per Wikipedia. Cosmic One says Christopher knows his site. Cosmic One also says he did love the movie, but I did get a 3-minute and a baby vibe for a second. Yeah. And Natasha Leon was a fantastic Leisure Masters. Hope we see more of her. But Joe already says, hey, whoa, slow your roll. The 60s were cool. The vibe was cool, right? The vibe was cool. However, not the greatest freaking human rights freaking record during the 60s. Not great. A lot of protesting and stuff going on, which was which is what made the whole thing with the baby at the end kind of interesting. Okay, well, what about what else? What about Herbie, man? They got that freaking.
I thought Herbie was great, but speaking of Herbie, that popcorn bucket was phenomenal. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like the Galactus too, and those things almost they sold out a couple of times, all right? But that Herbie dude is phenomenal. But in the movie, I liked how he just kind of added to it. You know what I mean? Like he added in each scene. Like each scene he was in, it was like a little add-in right there where it made kids giggle, it made women giggle. So I thought he was a nice little touch. And I know a lot of people, including myself, are looking for a robotic Herbie to purchase now. Okay, so they need to get on that and give us,
they should have been had that. They should have been had that shit. We should be by Christmas. we should have a fucking Herbie, but we're not going to get one till next summer probably, which
Yeah.
is fucked up.
But I still want it. They just need to basically make Chat GPT accessible on it or something, give us a cool ass feature that makes people use it every day, dude, because the technology that I'm starting to see is amazing, and you can incorporate that into things like this now. They got a little robot that follows you around the grocery store, and it's like a little box, and you can put your groceries in it, and it literally follows you, wherever you want to go, right? So it's all type of new technology and new things right now that they can kind of merge into ideas like that, and I think people will go nuts.
Yeah. I just don't know if they'll put a AI or Chat GPT into any type of
Just
kids
put some
toys
cool
right now.
shit in it. Make it be able to
Yeah,
do some cool shit.
yeah, because because the problem right now is AI Chat GPT already has some fucking issues with them telling people to do freaking weird stuff, and then you're gonna put it in a freaking kid's toy, and then there's gonna be one freaking toy that's gonna tell a kid to go freaking grab some pills and grab mommy's wallet and do some shit, and then it's gonna be a freaking rap. Chad Cave says that he wants that Galactus bucket, but he doesn't want to pay $80 for it, man. Shit.
Yeah, dude. Buying it online came out to 107.
Yeah. Cosmic One was talking about the Herbie Marvel Legends action figure that came out like 15 years ago. Crazy. All right, let's go ahead and transition over to talking about some actual freaking books. Before then, we're going to do, let's just do a quick trailer.
Hey, Radiant Black here, and next month Hold up. Wait, who's that? Wait a second, are we getting a new yellow? Is this another one of those crazy special issues? Does this one break time? Uh-huh. Oh, it only breaks hearts. Oof. Well, you've been warned. Don't miss a very special issue of Radiant Black, featuring a first appearance of our new Radiant Yellow. Pre-order Radiant Black 36 today with your local comic book store.
All right, here we go with first for this is FOC for July 28th, this coming Monday. We've got most of the books. As I was making this, we hardly had some of the freaking books. A lot of the J. Scott Campbell stuff still hadn't been revealed. Revealed some of the Frank Miller Punisher stuff and stuff, but I just took a look. I think I got some of it. So once again, if you think there's something that I'm missing that you don't see, definitely freaking shout it out. And then I'll do my best to freaking, or Chris will freaking do the best to freaking put it on here. And if we can't get to it by the time we end the show, then we'll try and put it on our Instagram. What's going on? Comics Embrace. What's going on? Quite a professional type logo. What's going on there? Maxon City Collectible says that the local theater was sold out when Superman released. That's whack. Yeah, so that I will say that, man. Freaking Superman was absolutely freaking sold out. Fantastic Four was not so. So that's going to be interesting to see what the final numbers were. In fact, I probably should have checked to see what that was. But it is what it is. So here we go with first. We're going to start with some of the number ones that are on FOC this week. Starting with Tama. There's going to be Tama. It's already came out maybe like a month ago. This is Tama, the second print. It's got quite a few of them. And they're going with a Pokemon homage for the freaking covers. One is the card, and the other one is like a Nintendo Switch Pokemon freaking deal, which is too fucking meta. But I hadn't even freaking read it. But I'm interested in it. And then was the Dustin and Gwen cover as well. I might have to freaking read it first, and then I might, if it's good enough, I might actually freaking end up picking it up. Monster High, House Hunters #1. Comic book guys, we are missing out on this one. It's pretty big. The freaking toys have been pretty big. The TV show has been pretty freaking big. And they're still coming up with some of these comic books. So I don't know if any actual girls are actually reading, but it's actually been pretty good. But the cover A has been done by Mikado. I don't think it's Miguel Mikado. It's the other Mikado, I believe. And then 2025, a Shantae swimsuit special #1. It's from a video game that I'm not sure. I might have to figure this out and if we can give it turn the lights down if we can play the freaking video games while the kids are asleep to figure out what in the fuck is going on with this video game. But there he is. There's a cover A by Nami Sukurochusio. And there's a cover B by McCann. There's a blank sketch, and 1 of 5 is by Sukuro Juicy. Oh, okay. Max City's saying to clarify, the Galactus popcorn buckets were sold out when he went to see Superman, and that was 2 weeks prior to the Fantastic Four movie release. Okay. I'll tell you what. Regardless, the movie theaters I was in, like all the showings for that one day, we got our tickets 2 weeks ahead of time. And by the time we got there, shit was just freaking sold out. Adventure Time, the Bubble Collective Special. I think this is like into the future of Adventure Time, not while they're still freaking kids. This one is pretty interesting what they're trying to do with it. I think it's like the kids are in like college now or something like that. So there's a cover A by Carolyn Clash. Then there's a cover C, Chloe Stosky, and a 1 in 10, Black and White. Eat Your Young, #1, really freaking good read by Matt Cave. I've explained this one before. It's about a tribe of immortals, right? And in order to stay immortal, you got to have a clan leader. But this particular clan leader, he's ready to retire, right? But you can't just say, "Oh, fuck it, I'm going to retire and go into the freaking woods and freaking just live your life." No, you've got to fight your whole. You got to fight your whole fucking tribe or anybody that wants to be the new leader. And the thing is, the person who is the new leader is the most powerful freaking. So this is what they're gearing up to. I think he's got like 50 kids or something crazy like that, and all 50 kids want to be the freaking leader, and he's got to fight all 50 kids. so and the problem is that he has an idea of who he wants to be the leader, but he can't just give it to her. It's crazy. Good stuff. Escape, #1. I forget what this one is about, but it's got some pretty great covers. Freaking, I love the cover A by Daniel Cuna. The problem with this one is it's got a 1 of 250 by Daniel Cuna. It is signed, but there's also a 1 of 500 by Daniel Cuna original art sketch. I'm not feeling all these high ass fucking ratios. I don't care. I don't care if they're fucking signed. Fuck. Why don't we just do the freaking blind bags and then go from there, man? Let's see if I can find a solicit. Solicit says, shot down, 100 out of time. The new ongoing Two-Fisted War epic from Reminder and Twitter starts here. It's about Milton Shaw, who's a battled hardened bomber pilot, flying missions over a war-torn world ruled by a ruthless empire. But when his plane is shot out of the sky, Milton wakes up behind enemy lines in the smoldering ruins of the city he helped burn. In less than 24 hours, his own side is dropping the big one to finish the job. Now injured, unarmed, and being hunted through the enemy streets, Milton's only shot at escape comes from the unlikeliest place. A grieving father and his sons, civilians shattered by the same fascist regime that rules this land with call. Enemies by blood, allies by circumstance. Together, they'll have to fight their way out before the bomb drops and erases everything and everyone. Sounds like an amazing fucking movie. Not necessarily a TV series or a franchise, but it would be an amazing fucking movie. Not the type of stuff that I would buy 1 of 500 for, so I'll catch that on the fucking flip side. Star Trek Voyager Homecoming #1, 1 in 25 by your boy David Nakayama.
Yeah, it's fire. I like it.
Yeah, with I think her name is 7 of 9, I believe. Yeah. Then Bring on the Bad Guys. There's several covers, but the one that I have here is the Namit Malavia Sister Sorrow joint. And this one is also going to be a version 1 in 50. All new Spider-Man, The Ghost Spider, issue number 1. There's several ones. The one on the left is by J. Scott Campbell, which there's going to be a 1 in 100. But the one that I like is the one on the right, which is a 1 in 25 by Simone DeMeo. New costume. Love the black contrasting with the little pink logo.
Yeah, dude. When I saw this, I was like, yeah, that's the one. I'm gonna be honest, dude. Like, I like Campbell. I like Campbell a lot, dude. But I just feel like this set just ain't all the way it, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, especially how he did Daredevil. I just, I'm a completionist, bro. I don't want to have to buy a set and be like, you know what, I didn't get that one because of that. I'm just, trying to pick my sets a little bit better, and that one just, it's so wild, bro.
Yeah, Zesty Daredevil and Ballerina Nova is what freaking turned me off of that shit.
Yeah.
Imperial War, Planet She-Hulk. A lot of some pretty good covers. I've got the J. Scott Campbell coming up in a little while. This one, Nimitz Malavia, coming out of nowhere with another freaking really good fucking cover. I've been asking everybody, like, who do we think is up next? Nimitz Malavia. She's swinging. She's freaking trying. She's swinging for that throne right now, man.
Yeah, it is. Definitely fire.
X-Men Tooth and Claw number 1, when I got up here, is the Rod Race variant. That's fucking beast. That's a fucking beast right there. Yep. They probably should have did this on foil. But yeah, that's a fucking beast right there. And then there's the main cover. The problem with the main cover is how do you go from here, right, big boy fucking beast, to crackhead fucking beast on this cover?
I don't know, bro. To the eye of the beholder, man. I feel like it is a bit of a downgrade, bro. But
it looks like it should be fucking Nightcrawler. Right, because you even got the feet showing, right? Nightcrawler always like to show you his fucking feet, the bottom of his fucking feet, for some reason. So I don't know what the fuck's going on, but all right, here we go. So this should have been in my bad fucking covers. This one right here, but here we go. Here are the fucking bad covers for one reason or another. Howdy Toddy, Fresh and Fruity. This cover for Spider-Verse versus Venomverse number 4. This reminds me of, so there was a show back in the 70s called Three's Company, right? And there was a landlord, Mr. Roper, who always liked to wear the fucking neckties and everything. And he was, well, there was the first Mr. Roper. The second one was a different guy, but first Mr. Roper used to love to work the neckties and everything. And he was he was progressive. I'll say that, progressive, back in the day. So yeah, this ain't it. Not for a 1 in 10. Nah. Plus the art looks kind of whack, man. Like some 10-year-old was fucking scribbling in fucking class and shit.
Yeah, being a completionist, I gotta get it anyways. But I think in the future somebody is gonna buy that, bro. As time goes on and the pot mixes a little bit more, somebody's gonna want it.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna want it. Look, Marvel knows what they're doing, man. They're bringing out all this shit, man. Predator, Black, White, and Blood, number 2, Gonzo variant. This looks like a fucking graffiti artist. Just kind of freaking drew this.
It's fire to me. I think. Yeah. All right. It's not like fire, but I get what they were doing, right? And
for sure, see the vision.
Yeah,
see the vision. Like,
I can see what they wanted to do.
Not for 1 in 50 though. Not for 1 in 50.
It just didn't translate, especially for the 1 in 50, bro. This is what you put on that variant cover that doesn't really matter if you buy. You know what I mean? I would definitely. I don't know what's up with their 1 in 50 selection these days. I don't know if it's just them going off of the artist, and this is a Jay Gonzo, so it's like, man, I want to support so bad, dude, because it is Jay Gonzo, right? I like a lot of his art, but this one is just I don't know, bro. It's confusing me a little bit,
Runways issue number 3, Merca and Dolfo. Now I love me some Merca and Dolfo. I love me some Merca and Dolfo, but what's going on with the fucking skateboards and shit? I hate to see it when we've got superheroes who can fucking fly and run fast and everything, and all of a sudden they gotta break out the fucking skateboards. It's like those commercials that are done by old people who want to portray that the product is for young people. That's what the fuck this shit is. It is not. No, man. No, you're not gonna catch my girl on no fucking skateboard. You're not gonna catch any of these fucking kids on a fucking skateboard, right? Stop this. No, kids nowadays they're not fucking around on skateboards, man. Stop it. No. Wonder Woman number 24, 1 in 25, Marshall Takara. I love the concept. However, the art, especially on the baby, is absolutely freaking terrible, man. Fucking terrible. It's kind of fucking scary. I don't know what the fuck is going on, man.
Yeah, it looks like she has 3rd-degree burns.
Hey, Lucy, how's it going? Let me know if you want to freaking come in. We can pass you the freaking link in the instruction chat, freaking chat. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of freaking scary. It's weird. And then Detective Comics.
Why are they letting him do this?
I call it Metamucil Batman, or Detective Comics number 1100 by Frank Miller, cardstock.
Why? Why are they letting him do this?
It looks like somebody's grandpa got a hold of fucking Batman's freaking costume. They took some Metamucil and they decided to fuck around and they said, "Oh shit, now I gotta take a shit, but I'm caught on this fucking cable." I don't know what the fuck is going on, man.
I'm sorry. It's terrible. I'm sorry. And people are buying these anyways just because it's that terrible that you want to own it. However, it's just like, man, dude. I mean, going back to some of Frank Miller's best work to where we're at now. Oh my God, man. I don't know what I'm gonna say to my kids. I'm gonna say they cloned him.
Absolute Flash number 6, 1 in 25. I've been shouting out like, hey, the Malavia, she's been doing great, but this one is a little weird, right? Because first, I'm not sure who this character is, but then there's like these red splotches where there's supposed to be people in there. First, you got this on the crotch. If you look right, there's a dude right on his fucking crotch, like not even like on the crotch, but like on his taint, going from taint to like crotch, peen right there, right? I was like, I don't know why they had to place him there. But then you had a girl down at the fucking bottom. Maybe you like exchange her, right? So it doesn't look as fucking gay and everything. But then also the one at the top, right? The red spot at the top, that's supposed to be a dude. But why does it look like fucking Cyclops? I'm not sure what's going on here. But the solicit does say that the rogues are revealed. Just who are the mysterious rogues chasing after Wally West, and how did they join Project Olympus? So this indicates that there are some first appearances in this freaking book. Absolute Flash, number 6, 1 in 50, Tyler Kirkham, Virgin cardstock. This reminds me of the time that I was in Baltimore, and I walked out. Me and the wife, we walked out of I think it was like CVS, and there was this red-headed. She was dyed hair red lady, and she was like, "Hey, I'll dance for $1 for you." And I was like, "What?" She was like, "Yeah, I'll dance for $1 for you." And I was like, "Fuck it, why not?" So I gave her $1. I think it was like $5 because I ain't. Who cares like dollar bills unless you go to the strip club now? So I gave her $5, and then she started dancing. And she opened up her mouth. She had the meth teeth and everything. and this is kind of what I'm trying to say. This picture makes Wally look like a fucking flash, redheaded fucking meth kid. Don't know what the fuck's going on, especially with the teeth. The teeth are all freaking methy, and it's freaking weird. Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 42, 1 in 25. I'm not sure what they were going for here, but it looks like they were fighting a block of cheese. And Batman's face looks like he has IBS. Looks like he's getting ready to go. He needs to really get home and take a fucking shit right now. So not sure what they were going for, but this ain't it. Especially for a 1 in 25.
Yeah.
New Gods, number 9. Malavia had another bad one on this one. It's just got too much going on. Don't know who these characters are. But I will say that the solicitors does say that it's supposed to be Kamal's newest god. So I'm not sure whether this is a second appearance or a first appearance in here, but there's something going on. The art, the concept is good. It's just the art is a little too faded on this one. For X-Men number 21, David Baldeón variant with Magic and Juggernaut on here. Good concept. Love the concept. It's just that the art is too faded. Lines are not clear cut. It just looks like a black egg with arms for Juggernaut.
Yeah, it actually doesn't look too good.
Nightwing number 129 by Juan Ferrer, another freaking great artist, but the body shape is just like all types of fucking weird, not very clean and freaking cut. Not his best freaking work on this one.
I'm just wondering what's going on with his hand.
Yeah. Robin and Batman, Jason Todd, number 3, Raphael Albuquerque, not Albuquerque's best work. So I'll give him this, man. The stuff in the back, like the buildings in the back, that takes a lot of freaking work, right? Because you got to line up the rollers and the strings and all the other stuff to do that and everything. But I'm just not so sure what I'm supposed to be looking at when I'm looking at Robin, and Jason Todd on this freaking one. What they're going for. Not sure. Superman Unlimited number 4, 1 in 25 by Ryan Benjamin. I guess it's supposed to be fast, everything with the whole bunch of knuckles and shit, but I thought that was the Flash thing. I don't know. I don't know. And he's running so fast that he's splitting water. I don't know. Yeah, Lucy is asking, like, where are they jumping from? Where are they jumping from? Where are they jumping to? What in the heck is going on? Jeff the Land Shark, number 3, Jury Hero, Virgin variant 1 in 100 on this one. Art is art. Jury Hero, I enjoy his art. I'm just not sure if this should be a 1 in 100 though.
Nah, probably not. It should have been a 1 in 50.
All right, here's the ugly stuff. Now, this is not truly bad, but some of this stuff is just like, some of it's just scary, some of it's terrifying, some of it's good. It's just, woo, right? Here we go. Frank Miller, The Punisher, Red Band. It's not as bad as the Metamucil Batman. It's actually not bad. I actually freaking like this one. I forgot. Let's see. Is it a 1 in 100? Also. Yep, it's a 1 in 100 as well. Version. Then The War, issue number 2, 1 in 10. This one's a James Deco. There's actually some pretty good freaking covers with this one. Here we go. In fact, we were just talking about some of the Hasbro stuff that's backstage with bringing on the bad guys for it. Mephisto, cover A by Lee Bermejo.
You didn't like this?
No, this is the ugly stuff. This is not the bad. This is the ugly. This is like if you woke up and this motherfucker was standing over your ass like this, how would you be feeling right now?
I'd feel some type of way. I'd ask bro what he was on. I'm feeling a little either pervert or pedo vibes. I can't determine which one they are, but if he was standing over me, you know what I'm saying? That's where I'm going with. So,
Yeah.
but hey, just as what it is though, it looks amazing, and I'm wondering, is that Dr. Doom's hand? You know how they've been having them fight, kind of like their arch nemesis on a lot of these covers. Like the one in 25 had Hulk versus Abomination. One of I think the Doom one had him fighting Reed Richards on this. So who is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to be Doom's hand, or?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I thought of.
I wonder where Mephisto's freaking clothes at. Like, why are you standing over me without your freaking shirt on, man? What the fuck's going on? Nipples out and everything. What the fuck?
I mean, Mephisto always walking around butt ass naked with the cloth on. You know what I mean? You know, I think it's more. I don't know if Mephisto is just walking around prime and ready for that action all the time, or you know what I mean. He just they may not have any motherfucking stores down there in hell, you know, so he can purchase a nice pair of clothes, but he does make the motherfuckers pop up every time he pops up, right?
It is supposed to be hot with no AC down there, so you'll see that. All right, and this one is another freaking great one. I forget who did the art on this one.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is the scary stuff. Because instead of just having him walk around, they're trying to remind you, hey, this motherfucker's from hell.
Yeah, and that's Chris Campana, and that is Doom's hand. So
shit.
And I think that I definitely.
Yeah, I got the fucking names right here. I'm dumb as fuck.
I'm gonna pick all these up though.
Oh yeah, so there are quite a few. There's a Ken Lashley. There's a Miguel Mercado. We've already shown the Inmates Malavia, and there's a 125 by Pete Woods.
I think the Mercado and the Todd Knock is going to be highly sought after.
Right, because I'm trying to think of through the process of what I'm going to order, but I do think Miguel Mercado is definitely going to be on the list, and this cover A by Lee Bermejo is definitely going to be on the list. I'm just not sure if I'm going to go 50-50 or if I'm going to split it up on some other covers. So, just got to see. And this great freaking concept of a freaking comic book, which is Suicide Games on freaking crack. Exquisite Corpse issue number 4, 1 in 50 by Wes Craig. I think, and there's another cover I believe that's got another. It might be like a second and third print that's coming out this week as well. But yeah, this one is a pretty good one. The all new Venom issue number 10. I've usually been fatigued by these Alex Ross ones, but this Dagger, yeah, this one's good. Then there's the Exquisite Corpse number 4, 1 in 25 by Dylan Burnett. That little fucking troll there is absolutely fucking terrifying. Justice League Red, Christian Ward, issue number 1. Tell me that dead man doesn't look fucking terrifying.
It does, and this book looks really fucking good too. For some reason, I like that a lot.
Yeah. Department of Truth, issue number 33, a 1 in 25 by Sam Wolf. Try to make your closet seem fucking fucked up. Like, yo, if you tell you what, if I open my closet and I see some shit like that, I'll be right back with a gasoline can, like this whole bitch on fire. See if Boogeyman likes it like that. All new Venom, a homage to the Spider-Man movie where Peter fucking comes down upside down and shit, and everything tries to fucking kiss her and everything. Um, I understand the concept. However, and this one might have been made it into the bad, but because her face is kind of jagged, it kind of looks like Sister Fong. So those are the people that are tied into the Instagram and are on TikTok all day. Understand what I'm talking about? Sister is it Sister Hong Fong? Sister Hong. Yeah, Sister Hong. Then Detective Comics 1100 125. David fucking Johnson. Good cover.
Yeah, it's dope. Gives me Batman animated the animated series vibes.
This one makes me. I would get 25 of these in order to get the that other one. This one is a Del Aldo. Oh, excuse me, not a Del Aldo. Excuse me, Bill Sikowitz. Bill Sikowitz cardstock. Not clean cut, not freaking, but you understand what they're going for. The shading to make it kind of. I could totally see fucking Batman sitting in the fucking dark, just pondering, just listening. He's listening and halfway thinking about jumping down and fuck somebody up on this one. Yes, Lucy knows who I'm talking about. Sister Hong, she knows who I'm talking about. Batman, Superman, World's Finest, number 42, Adrian Gutierrez. Looks like a dark versions of all the superheroes, include Catwoman. Then Code Witch, A Tale of the Shrouded College, issue number 4. Zombie with a zombie. What's it called? Is it called a mammoth? Yeah, mammoth.
Yeah, it's a mammoth.
Then I don't want to say the tentacle cover of the week, but the bondage cover of the week with Nightwing number 125, a Serge Acuna. Too many fucking teeth on this one, though. Too many. Terrifying. Kyle Holtz, a good one. A damn fucking good one for Robin and Bateman, Batman, Chasing Todd, issue number 3, 1-25.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Crackheaded bodies and all, but there's a reason behind it. Love it. Lisa says yes, dude, it's crazy. She was telling her husband about it. Yeah, my wife was telling me about it. I had already heard it, but I hadn't processed it until my wife came back and freaking told me about it. And I was like, huh? I was like, all right. Weird. But wives, I think wives are looking at their husbands to see if they've been into some crazy shit. But did you hear about the T app? The T app stuff is kind of crazy too right now. And Clayton Crane, an abstract joint for Clayton Crane for Robin and Batman, Jason Todd, issue number 3. I love the abstract of the villain, but I'm not sure if and I even understand the abstract on Robin. I'm just not sure if I needed the abstract on Batman. I think it kind of throws it off because the coloring is kind of whack. I don't know. And then Raphael Albuquerque, I guess it's like a Batman dressed up as Superman.
a super Batman.
It's weird.
Or Superman Bat.
Yeah.
That kind of think it goes together a little bit more.
I do want to give a shout out to the attention to detail on a gargoyle, though. Because usually those fucking gargoyles are absolutely fucking huge with absolutely no detail to them at all.
Yeah, this is actually fire. I actually like it.
Yeah. Gunslinger Spawn, number 46. Jonathan Uribe, Spawn riding his zombie horse. Actually, it's a zombie unicorn, and the unicorn has a knife for its horn. It's crazy. Hyde Street number 8, another freaking great horror anthology series, covered by Ivan Reese and Danny Mickey. This is a homage to Never Ending Story, I believe. Chad K
Yeah,
says, I refuse to Google Sister Hung.
it's also a first full appearance in this book too.
Another Hyde Street number 8 by Gary Frank and Brad Anderson. Is it, what was it? Jogging to the 80s, working to the 80s, moving to the 80s, or some shit like that. I think it was.
Yeah, it's the 80s.
Yeah, but there was like a series of exercise tapes back in the day. It was like moving to the 80s, I think. I think it was by Richard Simmons. It was his whole thing was like moving to the 80s. You got to get moving girls like nah, nah, nah.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Just a badass freaking cover. With Dan Brown and Kyle Holtz.
Got to double check that. May be the first cover, first full.
Badass. This one I had mixed feelings about it. CF Villa variant. Mary Jane carrying Venom around as a pocketbook. Jane Fonda's workout. But was it? Yeah. Well, what was it called? Was it called Working to the 80s or Moving to the 80s or something shit like that? Something to the 80s. Sweat to the oldies. Sweat to the oldies. That's what it was called. This makes me want to come back to reading the Incredible Hulk because I think was it like a couple years ago when it was like the Al Ewing joint where it was just a horror. Incredible Hulk was just a horror freaking comic.
Yeah,
Great
it's still carrying along the same lines. It's the same thing.
Yeah, because they tried that one year where it was a fucking robot and it was just fucking absolutely fucking terrible.
Oh, a robot? I don't know about that shit. I know in this run though, they went with the whole horror aspect in this entire run, which has made it pretty fucking good.
Yeah. So the Hulk robot run was kind of weird. So how they're trying to do they're coming out with all these new Spider characters and everything. Well, they came out with all these new Hulk characters, where it was like a whole Matrix. Well, was it Matrix? Not the Matrix. I forget the name of the movie where the dude goes to sleep and then he goes into a dream into a dream into a dream, some shit. But that's what the fucking whole Hulk thing was, and he was like a robot going through all these fucking weird other mentalities of Bruce Banner. It was stupid and fucking weird, but I understand why they did it for legal reasons, but it was crazy. Predator, Black, White, and Blood, number 2 by Corn Howell. Covered in a fucking pool full of skulls. At the latest fucking hunt. Did you see there's a new Killer of Killers on Disney now?
Definitely, dude. That shit was good. And
was good?
Yeah, it was pretty good. And I'm actually waiting for Predator Badlands now because for the first time, we're getting a movie where Predator is, in a way, an anti-hero, and, he shows up on this planet that, he's come to hunt. It's supposed to be like one of the baddest planets in the universe, right? And he's basically, I believe, coming there to earn his stripes, right? And we have basically like an anti-hero type adventure with the Predator. So I think they dropped the trailer like a couple of days ago, and it looks very interesting, and I'm actually looking forward to seeing this.
Yeah. Yes, Lucy. Thanks for chiming in. Yeah, the movie that I was thinking about, where it was the dream within the dream and the dream, was Inception. Good shout out. Then here's your scan variant 1 and 25. Absolutely fucking terrifying. If you're too close, you're already freaking dead. All right, now we're getting into the stuff that was actually pretty good. This Punisher Red Band Patrick Gleason. There's a 1 in 25. It will be polybagged. And then there's also going to be a EM just polybagged. Sonic the Hedgehog, number 81. Variant B, this is going to be the first appearance of the Emerald Thief. And there's a 1 of 15 by Fudrain. The War, number 2. This one is cover D. It's 1 in 20 by Citria. West Coast Avengers. This one's by Kalman Andrzejowski. And on the cover is Omega Ultron. Ultimate Spider number 20 by your girl Annie Wu. And then there's also a Dan Panosian on there. This is the one Runaways that I did like. Issue number 3. This is by Stephanie Hans. And then Wernick still trying to freaking get in there. Phoenix issue number 14. Banger probably should have been a foil. Phoenix number 14. Joelle Jones.
Yeah, Joelle Jones is phenomenal.
Miles Morales, Spider-Man number 37. Really good Torn Clark design variant.
And she this is supposed to be a brand new character as well. I think it's like 2 first appearances in this book. She's one of them, but
the other one was Nari.
Kind of wondering is it going to have anything to do with the other character, Misery, that basically was in X-Men, I want to say 17 or 18, basically the most recent issue, where we had that badass Derek Chew 1 in 50 of her. And then there's a little controversy over the actual story itself. So I'm wondering if that character is going to have anything to do with this one.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, I mean, I could care less unless the character is actually going to stick around.
Yeah.
Because there's too many characters. We get excited about them, and then a year later, we never hear from them again.
Yeah, the only one that's really stuck around in recent times is Spider-Boy. From being honest.
Yeah. Kinda, but then they replaced Spider-Boy with Spider-Girl.
Yeah.
You know. There you go. That's the Nari first appearance variant by Peach Momoko. There's your J. Scott Campbell, all new Venom, issue number 9.
And now I think of it, it's been a lot of covers that this FLC was on FLC before, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened?
I don't know. Either the data that I'm pulling this from the stuff is wrong, or I don't know what the freak. Maybe the data I'm pulling from is wrong. Maybe I don't know. Here we go with Megan Hetrick. Haven't heard this name in a while, or maybe I just haven't been paying attention. But this cover is absolutely freaking gorgeous.
Yeah, that's fire. That's a regular cover?
Regular cover. Qualifier. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
This ends tonight, issue number 2. This one, I think I talked about this one last month. It's about these elves, right? But they're in like modern day and they're just running around. Some of them, the elves, don't know that they're elves, but they just know that they're part of a family, like one of those special families, right? And then one day, one of the families tries to do a hit on the other freaking family, so there's it's sort of like a little mafia elf war. But yeah, here we are, and we have a 1 in 50 by Tula Lote. These are supposed to be sisters, by the way, so I don't know what the fuck. Witchblade, issue number 13, Jason Sean Alexander, cover B. I believe there's a 1 in 50 of this one as well.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on with Witchblade, why they needed to do a new series if you're not going to put a new character as the Witchblade. It was totally not fucking necessary. All right, Imperial War. This is the J. Scott Campbell for the planet She-Hulk.
Yeah, this one actually looks really good. She's a little strong, but it looks good. Because them legs are thick as shit, son.
Yeah, she looked like she would put you in a freaking headlock with her fucking legs and twist that motherfucker right off, and you'd be smiling and happy as fuck about it.
Yeah.
1 in 50 for David Mack for that Witchblade. It's got me like, fuck. I would probably actually buy this shit.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I like David Mack, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like some of his covers just hit on certain shit. You know what I mean? Like when it's that character or whatever. But his art, like sometimes it's like a hit where you're like, okay, I want this shit, and then sometimes it's like, oh, another David Mack.
Yeah, it's the same thing for Jay Lee for me. Sometimes it's like, nah, and sometimes it's like, yeah, you got that shit. Incredible Hulk number 28, the Andrea Brisson variant, 1 in 25. And then there's also a Greg Land variant. Okay, now we're coming up on the Emma Frost. David Nakayama. Banger.
So good.
Shit, hold up.
That was Fan Young.
Fan Young, yep, Fan Young.
Which
Absolutely
is
fucking banger.
Also 1 in 50, super thick. They've been banging out these 1 in 50s. That one Citrus Sorrow was beautiful. The X-23 was beautiful. So
yeah, this one's a Luciano Vecchio. The interesting thing on here is that she's reading Black Cat with the Adam Hughes cover. Then this one is the and meets Malavia.
This is gorgeous.
Yeah. I guess I got to get Emma Frost shit.
Yeah, this is beautiful, dude. Colors and all is just fire. I definitely see this coming out on 1 in 25 second print if it's not already something, is it? No, because the 1 in 50 is not young.
Yeah.
So yeah, second print 1 in 25.
High Street number 8. Here's your 1 in 20. Sean Vaughn Gorman, Ivan Rice, the cereal box homage. Ghost Pepper issue number 2. This one is by 1 in 50 by Ito. And so after reading the first one, it didn't suck, right? I'm not sure where they go from there. I mean, the art is good. It's got an interesting start, right? It's just like characters. You got your lone freaking weird old dude who just wants to. He just wants to sit down and watch his fucking noodles, but he's on a planet that he's not supposed to freaking be on because they want his fucking passport and figure out who the fuck he is. He doesn't have a passport, so they send the cops after him. He fucks up all the fucking cops. Now he's on a fucking run, right? But he's only on a run, not because he really needs to run, because he just wants to enjoy his fucking noodles. That's his fucking point. And the person he's running with is the chef that cooked him the fucking noodles, and her special ingredient is a ghost reaper pepper, some shit like that. So it is it is adequately manga weird. It is adequately manga weird. This is an absolute freaking banger as for if it was a manga and an anime. Absolutely. This is not for for the comic book nerds to be fucking beating on who's the fucking best. No, this is fucking if you want to freaking read some manga anime type shit. Weird anime, and it's this one's good. So that's why it's kind of interesting and weird that they've got all these great freaking artists. Because I think the last one had Derek Chu and Art Germ and all those stuff. So
Yeah,
it's interesting.
and we had that Catwoman homage.
Yeah. This Ito, this 150 Ito. Fuck. I don't want to have to get it. In fact, I might wait and see if anybody else gets it and scoop it up. G.I. Joe 1 in 10, Alan Qua. This one goes back to the Exquisite Corpse. This one is the stealth variant. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Ghost Pepper issue number 2. There's a 1 in 25 by Jorge Fornes. It is a sci-fi homage. Then Falling in Love on the Path to Hell number 9. I can't believe this book is still going on, but love this cover. I just don't think it should be a 1 in 50 though. This one's by Mark Torres. Then back to the Exquisite Corpse. This is the polybag with the playing card variant that I told you guys about. Then Exquisite Corpse, Adam Gorham. Yep, that was the Annie Wu, Ultimate Spider-Man. Code Witch Tale of the Strata College, number 4, 1 in 10. Kind of takes me back with these ice cream pop variants. Wonder Woman, number 24. This one is How You Freaking Do It. Cover C by Hamari. Then Daniel Sampier. Then Snoo Snoo cover. Bruno Redondo. Yeah, she's got a big back, but this back will fuck you up. Go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try to sneak up on her. Mark Spears, finally, with Superman Unlimited, issue number 4. Jim Lee for Robin and Batman, Jason Todd. Bubblegum cover of the week. I kind of like the slice of life where I could totally see that they're out on the hunt, but Robin's just sitting chewing bubblegum and freaking on his fucking phone. Batman 1100, the Jock variant is wrapped around.
Yeah, this is hard. Definitely need a couple of these. Is a regular open qualifier or
Regular.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna need a couple of these. That looks so good.
Batman and Robin, a year 1, 1 in 25. Coley Hamner. I thought that I put this one in a bad one because I don't know why you got my boy Robin doing calisthenics and yoga on a fucking top of the building while Batman's on a fucking hunt. Get ready to get up with the ops. Then Jay Lee for Crypto, the Last Dog of Krypton, issue number 3. Derek Chu with New Gods number 9. A lot of baby covers. A lot of fucking baby covers this week, or on FOC this week.
Yeah, they're trying to take attention away from Franklin, even though Franklin's not a baby anymore.
Another Dan Panosian for Batman and Robin Year 1, number 10.
That looks pretty good.
Looks freaking amazing because it's the first time in a long time that they've got Robin just looking like a normal fucking kid, and you got Batman just looking like a normal fucking dad over there. Like he literally looks like a dude that just put on a fucking Batman costume to go out trick or treat with his kid. Nick Robles with Absolute Flash number 6. some really good covers for Catwoman number 78. There's a Sebastian Fiormura, a Frecken Cho, and a Dan Panosian. There was a Dan Panosian for Ultimate Spider-Man number 20. J. Scott Campbell, X-Men. I like this one as well as that She-Hulk, so those are probably the two that I might mess around with.
Yeah,
There's the Dan Panosian Catwoman number 78.
that's gorgeous, dude. Her face is drawn so nice.
I can see people really liking this one. This Nightwing number 129, excuse me, Jorge Fornes. Then there's a 1 in 25 by Scott Forbes for Catwoman number 78. Then there's your Sebastian Fiormura. Charlemagne the God presents Illuminati number 3. Amazing Spider-Man. One reason why I brought this one up is because it's supposed to be the first appearance of Symbi.
Is that?
If you look at the bottom left, there's a little weird figure right there.
Yeah, and I was also wondering, is this supposed to be the first appearance of the new Spider-Man in space, in the cosmos? Because that's what this cover was for, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it says the Cosmic Spider-Man, but there's been a Cosmic Spider-Man before.
Yeah, that
I guess it just depends on which Spider-Man they're using for the Cosmic in this one.
Well, the one you're talking about, that's the that's like pretty much Spider-Man with the damn, what's that power called? The Uni power, all right, and makes that cosmic version of Spider-Man. I think this is supposed to be like a whole new Spider-Man, like specifically out in the cosmos.
Yeah. A stranger named Symbi making his first appearance. Yeah. And that Symbi is the one on the left. This is your lead Bermejo. And who did this one? Oh, Disney's. That's a Disney Stitch, is it? Yeah, I guess the Disney Stitch, maybe?
No, that's the Amazing Spider-Man 100 homage. And we do have a Stitch variant coming up that I don't think we got the cover art for yet. I've only seen one of the Stitch variants so far.
Let's move on. There's a Masafera. And then that's the last of the books that I got on FOC. Let's see. Were you able to get any of the new releases ready?
No, I was just gonna go to Midtown like we've been doing.
Okay.
And hope this shit doesn't glitch out on us.
All right, while you're working that up, I do have just a few from Dark Horse, Star Wars. This is the stuff. Some of the stuff is coming out coming up Wednesday, and we're just messing around until Chris gets his stuff figured out. Star Wars Hyperspace Stories, Tides of Terror. GFT, the Zone Scope, as bangers. Just as the Dark Tomorrow special, the same time Self Legends Must Unite. All in. I think this was a Torny freaking cover. Absolutely freaking gorgeous on this one for Justice League Dark of Tomorrow. Cal L. Fortnite Love. Nice Kara cover. Ricardo Federici for I Tyrant, issue number 1. Speed Racer. It's got a cover for coming out for Mad Cave. Savage Wolverine, issue number 1. Grim Fairy Tales, another great freaking cover for that 2025 swimsuit special. The War, number 1. This one was my favorite cover right here. Yep, another pregnant cover by Tula Lotte. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Best of Renee. Forget what cover this is. Goofy on one of the Spider-Man freaking What If covers. Star Wars: The High Republic. This is one of the photo variants for the Art of Marvel series. And then for issue number 1, the Emma Frost White Queen. This one's coming out. David Nakayama. Forget who did the art on this one. Then there's their another Lee Bermejo. Exquisite Corpse issue number 1. I think this one was the 3rd print. And that's all I was able to pull. Uh-oh, what happened to Chris? What happened to Chris? Let's see if I can pull the stuff. Okay. Yeah, it's just Midtown just slow as heck. Oh, popped out again. Batman Long Halloween number 8, Becky Cloonan. Interesting. Bro, you good? Or did you cut out again? Gotham City Sirens Unfit for Orbit, issue number 5. This one's a Terry Dodson, or excuse me, Rachel Dodson. And then Gotham City series Unfit for Orbit number 5. There's a Haining cover. Oh, excuse me. It's actually supposed to be the Novovich cover. Not bad. I can hear you.
Yeah.
Sold out is the Justice League Dark Tomorrow special #1, Fernando Blanco. Titans annual #1 cover B variant by Dan Sapir. Looks pretty good. We know it's got the nose, looks like it's had surgery.
Tweaked out for a second.
Mm-hmm. Joel Jones with Titan annual #1. Okay, that was it for DC. Let's go to Image. Yeah, there's your Swiss Corps #1, the third print. Gehenna Naked Aggression. I like this cover B by Nick Patari. Then there's a cover C for a Gehenna. And then there's a naked variant or a risky variant for a Gehenna Naked Aggression issue #2, going for $8.99. The iTyrant #1 has a cover A regular Jason Alexander cover coming out. There's your Ricardo Federici. It's got some Macentas, but none of those Macentas are like anything to worry about. Medieval Swan, issue #4, Kaon Gu. News from the Fallout has a second print for cover C. Scorch #43.
Glitched out for a second. Let's just run through this shit. Where you at?
I'm on Image right now. Sounds a smart ass. Says your boy was frozen like Elsa.
Yeah, dude. This I think it's I don't know, bro. Did you have problems with StreamYard when we got on? Like,
Nope. Oh, there he goes again. You'll do bad things. And then we're into the now we're into the trade paperbacks. So let's start going into oh. All right, let's look at Marvel. All right, here we go with Bring on the Bad Guys, issue #1. It's not pretty bad, not bad. Lee Bermejo. There he is. Then there's a Steve Knock. This one looks like a Miguel Mercado. Here we go. That's what I was wondering who it was. Noga-san Sister Sorrow cover.
I think one of the most important things of the week is the gods tie-in. I want to see what they're going to do with those characters.
Second, there's a 1 in 25 for that Loki. And there's a second print for the Emma Frost White Queen #1, that David Nakayama. And who did this one? Ricky Yagawa did this one. Yep, here you go. God, you're talking about this one, the Gods One World Under Doom #1.
Yes, sir. I want to see what they do, with Win. Like, are they going to expand on his story? Because remember, we met him in Hellfire Gala. I think that was a couple of years ago. I think it was in the Free Comic Book Day, Uncanny Avengers a couple of years ago. And then we got the Gods Run, and then we haven't seen those characters since then. So,
who's this girl?
she is basically kind of like a student to Wind, if you will.
Really?
Even though she's just like a kind of like a new magical type person that has like supposedly this big destiny ahead of her, right? But it was kind
She
of messed
wasn't.
up.
She wasn't in Volume 1. I can tell you that one.
Yeah, she definitely was. She was in Gods, bro.
Not
She
not
was.
the first one before. I'm talking about because where I left off was it was supposed to be like one of the last issues, and his last student had just brought his parents back from like the dead basically, and then he had bought his mom? I think he bought his mom
Well,
back.
yeah,
It wasn't his
he
dad,
came in contact with his mom in a way,
and then he
but
went back to
he went to go search for his dad,
and
and
they
then he
never saw him.
disappeared.
Yeah.
That was Dimitri the Science Boy. But the Magic Girl right here, her whole thing was she was pretty much in a good chunk of the run. She was the one that went into the hospital that was being controlled by the Black Swans to get Dimitri. And she was the one that was able to tell Win what the Black Swans were even up to. So how it ended, though, is that the girl Nico, Win's past love interest, right? She kind of dragged the girl into her kind of fraternity or whatever, and that kind of like set her path so that she will never be able to be on Win's side of the equation. And so that's where we left off with her. So now it's like, she'll never become a part of the powers that be, right? She'll always be a part of the other group, and they emphasized on that. But then where it left Win is Win finally crossed over with his history, with basically who he's working for, right? Which we all kind of feel like is possibly the one above all, right? And they left off at that, where he kind of like finally knew his history and how he got to that point and all that. And then it kicks off with him and Nico kind of like slight way together, but not necessarily so. And then he goes back off into the shit that Win does, which is like dance between all the gods, because he's an avatar of most likely the one below all, one above all.
Weird. Okay.
Dude, that's one story that I would definitely highly recommend that you go back and read in its entirety, because it was really good. And Jonathan Hickman actually put some structure to the cosmic entities, right? So he made the Living Tribunal and Oblivion actual brothers, and the only person above them is the one above all. So it makes the whole Storm shit interesting to me because I'm trying to learn more about this Hadad character, right? Because Wynn was like our introduction to all these different gods and avatars of the gods. So definitely go back and read it, bro.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, because I haven't heard anybody else freaking talk about the stuff. I thought
It was a real
meager. I thought it
read.
was. I thought it was meager at first, and it was like okay. And then they tried it, and then once they fucking started with the student getting lost, I was like, okay, you got a little something. And
Well,
then
it's actually even bigger than that because the Black Swans, it highly referenced his work in Secret Wars. So back in Secret Wars, when we met the Black Swans, right, we also had the Black Priests around. And if you remember, the Black Priests, when they were using their powers, they would have to chant one syllable apiece, right? So in Gods, after all that shit was said and done, the Black Swans are putting together the Black Priest's alphabet. And towards the end of the run, they actually finish it and then go off into the multiverse. So
yeah,
they'll also pop back up.
all right. Okay, let's keep it moving. This one is Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man #1, the second print. This is the one that was written by Kevin Smith, and then there was a new appearance in there, and yeah, nobody cares about this one right now. There's that Amazing Spider-Man Lee Bermejo. Here's your Godzilla versus Avengers.
It wasn't shit else this week, man. This week was rather light. My guess is because of San Diego. But yeah, they didn't have a whole lot of heavy hitters for me this week.
Oof, I'm gonna have to get this one. Michael Walsh. Then there's a Simone Bianchi. That one's pretty good. Don't know why they think people want to buy a whole bunch of goofy stuff, but
Oh, and I'll just mention it when we get to it. But yeah, Tom, that was God's 2. When we got that girl.
Yep. Savage Wolverine #1. Yep, there's your Clayton Crane. That's a must get from me. Yeah, Dan Panosian of Wolverine coming out of the grave. Spider-Man and Wolverine #3, Stephanie Hans. Spider-Man versus the Sinister 16. Who did that one? Terry Dotson. I don't hate it. Some Star Wars: The High Republic. Not sure why old girl looks like she's got a Venom joint on her chest, but all right. And Thing. Mark Giorgetto for Ultimate Spider-Man #19. Gerald Perez. Or is it not Gerald Perez? Perro. Not bad. I fucked with it. Not sure what's going on with that trad.
Try more.
Yeah, it's a get high and freaking look into the scars. Beach variant for #19. Benjamin. Yeah, I guess that Gerald Perot was a 1/100 because $90. DQ1 for Ultimates.
And if I'm not mistaken, this will be your first appearance of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, and first cover appearance on the main cover. So they went with a different look for her this time, which looks really good.
Sandy Huck Lee. Putting boots of ass on this one. Here's your Juan Ferreira. Not bad. Cover, a book that didn't ask for a Vision and a Scarlet Witch. Leslie Lurie. And a Simone DeBale. Werewolf by Night. Who did this one? Looks like a damn Hanusian on this one. Nope, Tyler Kirkham. Not bad.
The variant cover is where it's at, which is already sold out.
Which one? The photo variant or?
No. The Joshua Casanovas. Yeah.
Let's see.
Fire. Gone.
Oh, you motherfuckers and penguins, sign me the fuck out. Fuck y'all. Let's take a quick second.
And that was actually the last book for Marvel anyways.
On sale soon. Okay, still at still a penguin. Let's go with 5. Because I'm pretty sure when we did FLC, this wasn't on there.
No, it was they didn't have the cover art for it.
All right. And last, we're going into some of the indies before we close out. Bitchcraft, number 2. I don't think anybody should read it, but I just like to say Bitchcraft. Then a signed version of Charlemagne the God Presents Illuminati, number 1. Tentacle cover of the week and Crushed Death, number 5.
A surprise one on there that I did see people taking an interest to it is coming up called the Fourth Rope, number 1.
Okay.
I saw a couple of people talking about that.
Yeah. This one based off a game, Far Cry Call, The Herd, number 1. Fourth Rope, Grim Fairy Tales presents Grim Tales of Terror. Oof. Slit Mouthed. Yeah, I already talked about some of these.
That's how you know it was Comic-Con week, because a lot of this shit that would normally be sold out is still up here.
Grim Fairy Tales. Who does this one? John Royal. Yeah. John Royal has his fans. You gotta be careful with these. I don't even know where to order Zenoscope anymore. That's a damn shame. I don't even can we still order books from Diamond on Zenoscope Books?
I thought that the Dynamite went to Lunar.
I don't know. Maybe. I know Dynamite. Did Dynamite? Yeah, Dynamite definitely. Well, yeah, Dynamite did. I just don't know about Zenoscope. Just don't know, man.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. Um,
Yeah, like all these. Why the fuck is DuckTales in here? See, they try to sneak Dynamite shit in here. I'm on strike on Dynamite stuff until they fix their shit. Stop giving us 30 fucking covers for one title. Oh, there's a naked version of that one as well. Hard Case Crime Heat Seekers. Here's your Art Germ, or is that the Derek Chew?
Derek Chew, and the version is sold out.
How's it cosplay if she's butt naked?
I guess she's just playing the role, you know.
When she goes to Comic Con, the cosplays of this character, does she bring like the whole bed and the pillows and everything? And the
I
gun and
think
shit?
she just wraps herself up in a sheet and brings a gun. She's all good.
The fuck? Yeah, that Derek Chew is sold out. Heavy Metal Magazine. A cover D variant sold out.
That's a new artist too, by the way. Well, he's not like new, but he's newer to people. So yeah,
Jim Mahfoud.
Jim. Yeah, so you'll see a few of his covers coming up. People are actually digging his work, so keep an eye on him for sure.
Hero Cave #1 sold out. What the fuck? Oh, okay. Hero Cave was different than Hero #1. Get a Cobra, The Hunt Begins. Last Witch.
I think next up was Anything Worth. It was Speed Racer #1. It's in and Mark Spears.
Yeah, Mark Spears Monsters #6. And so far, none of these are sold out.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think a trading card comes with some of those because I think I remember Critter saying something about it. I can't remember for sure, but I know they had cards.
Is it this one? It's one of these, or is it the hollow foil? Because I ordered some.
It's one of them. I think the Golden Superman one might have been possibly it, which was the cover A. All I know is I remember it having a trading card of that art.
Missionary Distillery still doing stuff. They just need to stop fucking around and either put out a video game or a fucking movie. Then maybe people will pay attention to them again.
I think the size fucks up people too. I just think that people don't want to collect that size all the time. You know, give me a regular comic, regular size that goes in my regular boxes that can use my regular bag and boards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the book is already expensive. Now I've got to buy different boards and magazine freaking inserts and all that other shit for it. Like, come on, man. Then also got to buy a different magazine box. Box to put the shit in.
Just to collect that shit.
Yeah. Yep, there you go. Speed Racer Volume 4, number 1.
Yeah, my coverage for this was that Nicoletta Balderi right there. And then there was another 2 right after the blank cover. Fuck. One was the Car Magazine homage, which was fire.
Yep.
And then the other one was the new.
Too skinny though. Too skinny. Looks like Jughead though. And then Midtown has this one on limit 1 per customer to Ken Nomura.
And sold out.
Who sells Mad Cave? Is it? Oh yeah, it's got to be Lunar, I think. Let's see. Let's check them out. New order.
You know, I'm starting to really think that this week was just like one of those weeks where they didn't hit us with too much important stuff, because I think they knew that the focus was going to be on San Diego. You know, like I said, this was one of those weeks where these are going to be the books that sneak up on people, possibly.
Yeah. You know what's crazy is in the system. Oh, there it is. Speed Racer. Cover F, cover E, cover D is still available. Cover H is not available right now. Yeah. So fuck. Well, I mean, it's kind of interesting, right? Like, I think you're correct, but there's still so much good stuff that's coming out. Like
Yeah, but
this War number 1,
are
Jay Shaw.
probably broke after Comic-Con, because it was so much good stuff that they had at Comic-Con this year. Like, I would expected that Tula Lote and the Virgin Jason Shaw on the War to be gone, and they're still up there. That book is pretty fucking cool. The War number 1.
Man, Goat, and Bunny Man. That's my shit. Iron Man, Something Strange. Okay, I think the rest of these are just trade paperbacks and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one where he's peace signing in front of the nuclear bomb, that shit was dope. I'm surprised it was still there.
Yeah,
But,
War number 1. Yep. I've been telling people about that for a while. It's between there's War number 1 and I forget the other freaking book that's freaking come out. Especially those Tula Lotes.
yeah, they look good.
With the pregnant chick, yeah.
And
Good stuff.
I think that between San Diego and Fantastic Four and those 3 goddamn popcorn buckets for damn near $100 a piece, okay? Because the Herbie was like $80-something in theater. Galactus, people camped out for Galactus way prior, so he was completely sold out. And then the people still were picking up the Fantastic car that looked pretty good with your Marvel Legends. So
True.
You know, between all that, these are going to be those creeper books that pop up, and you know, people are going to be looking for after the fact type thing. You know,
rough. You know who I never advocate for anybody to be fired, but I think somebody needs to be put on a pip. Whoever decided to put the Smurfs out this week.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking? There's a Smurfs movie that came out this week.
Yeah, bro. When
what?
Actually we were waiting to go into theater, and yeah, bro. It was little kids coming out the Smurf movie. You know,
Yeah.
It wasn't
They have a popcorn
as big
bucket
as the
for
crowd.
it too.
Huh?
They have a popcorn bucket for it. It's a little Smurf house. It's cool.
And like I said, dude, I think that it's just the simple fact that just really bad timing, because you know, you got everybody raving over Fantastic Four right now. And I didn't, you know, I saw people coming out of it, so I know, you know, people are taking their kids to go see it. but I haven't heard anything, about it other than that.
Yeah.
And this is the third movie, isn't it?
I'm not even sure.
I think it's.
I feel like I've probably seen a trailer, but I've literally don't know anything about it. Like the last Smurf movie I remember is the one with Doogie Howser in it. That's the last one I remember.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think that the whole thing about this one was something dealing with Smurfette. But I could have swore it's like number 3.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it. Anything else you wanted to discuss?
Nah, dude, just pay attention because we got some things coming up. Definitely pay attention to some of these releases going on right now.
Sure.
And
sure.
Other than that, just peep game on what's going on because I think we got next up Eyes of Wakanda, right? But I was wondering, that's next month, right? On the 24th, isn't it?
Not a clue, man.
Yeah, I know it's coming up, and then I know on the 31st, people can get their Twisted Metal on. So go ahead and catch season 2 of that, so we can talk about that this weekend to come. Yeah. Other than that, hopefully we should have some time to do some type of recap on San Diego Comic-Con releases sometime this week.
Okay. Sounds good, man. Freaking once again, everybody stay safe. Thank you for hanging out with us till almost 2:00 in the freaking morning. Stay safe. Please hydrate and freaking let's save a little bit of our money because we still got got Baltimore Comic-Con coming up. We got NYC freaking Comic-Con and we got D23. We got a whole bunch of stuff. So hey, don't fucking run up the tab just yet. We're out. Peace.
Sometimes men take matters into their own hands. You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
As you guys know, it is Drunken Chat, son.